How do you feel at the moment? Do you feel stuck behind your desk, in your home office? Maybe you're grumpy in the morning? Or maybe you're just fine and in need for whole body multidimensional movement. Either way, we've got a sequence for you. Thank you very much for joining Muriel and me in this Slings in Motion movement sequence that invigorates and gives you a good mood from the inside out. Now, how do we do so? We enliven the back by enhancing the adaptability, fluid flow and glide in the fascia of your back. All the while, we empower the abdominals and we do so from the inside out. And that gives a really good feeling of vigor. And the movements we do, because they are very multidimensionally, we give our organs a good massage. And today's focus is a bit around the stomach, the liver, and the heart and the lungs. So we give them a good massage. Now, in German, we have a saying, when you are in a grumpy mood, a louse walked over, or maybe a whole colony of lice, walked over your liver. And so after this sequence, I mean, it will be butterflies around your liver. Trust us. You have to do something for it, but it's really worth it. Okay. Now I really talked it up. We need to deliver moo-moo. Okay, let's go. You can start in a cross-legged sitting position, left leg in front, pelvis centered, spine elongated. Now it's hard to be serious actually, but let's tune inward and get, I don't know. No, it's just a good mood. So arms overhead in a generous arm circle. Active forward fold, place your hands onto the floor or onto two massage domes. You then push the hands away from the body. You let the pelvis tilt back, the spine curl. Pull the hands towards you. Let the pelvis lift, the spine elongate and maybe extend. Exhalation, push the hands away from the body. Inhalation, pull them towards you. When you exhale, you engage your pelvic floor and your abdominals to assist the pelvic tilt and curl. With your inhalation, you gradually let go. Let's do this one more time. Mobilizing the hip joints, the pelvis, the spine, and already getting glide into the fascial layers of the back. Curl back one more time and then roll up into a centered position. Reach your arms overhead, feel the length in the sides of your body. Reach out to shoulder level and then with your next inhalation, long side bend to the right. Let the breath flow. The right shoulder is relaxed, the left shoulder is set. The neck is long. Reach up with your left hand and then start reaching down towards the floor with the left hand. By sense, your shoulder follows your arm. The rib cage follows the shoulder and the spine follows the rib cage. Take your arm overhead, long side bend. Lower the left arm, domino motion. You let the arm take the body to the other side, long side bend. Keep a sense of spaciousness on the left. With your right hand, start reaching down towards the floor, and we have a multidimensional motion in the rib cage and the spine, mobilizing the ribs and the back. And then long side bend again, domino motion, where the arm takes the body to the opposite side. Now we are adding on. You are reaching down with your left hand and you place your left hand onto a massage ball. The right hand presses against the floor, giving you a little bit of lift, and then you reach the left hand away from the body, rolling the ball away, roll it towards you. When you roll the ball away, you lift up from the pelvic floor to sustain the length in your lower back. Let's go 2 more times. Rolling the ball away, you reach, and then you roll towards you. 1 more time. And then you take your left arm overhead, long side bend again. Left arm, let it lower. Let the body follow your left arm, long side bend to the opposite side. Reach down with your left hand, spiraling the back of the rib cage open, spiraling the spine. Place your hand onto the ball and roll away again. So if you can feel a sense of lengthening, keep going in your own rhythm. From the top of the hand, up the arm to the shoulder, and from the shoulder down to the rib cage, into the lower back, even the pelvis, that is ideal. So we actively lengthen fascia and we promote glide, which in combination promotes fluidity. You can take your arm overhead again, and then lower the arm, let the body follow. It's a domino and a gentle side bend. Left arm, domino, an even smaller side bend. And now you let the body find its centered alignment. You can now turn around, take a seat on your mat. We will place massage props beneath the back. I will be using massage balls. Mumu will be using domes. If you already know what you would like, place these props next to your hips, to the side of the mat. Then you can establish a basic long sit, either with the legs in parallel or closed, and hold on behind the knees.
From here, pull with the heels a little bit towards you. Feel how it lifts you more onto the sit bones. And then push with the heels away. Feel how it tilts you behind the sit bones. Engage pelvic floor and abdominals. Keep rolling down. And then at one point you feel you can lift the legs by using the arms. Press the back of the legs into the hands. Keep pelvic floor and abdominals strongly engaged. And roll down one vertebra at the time. And then at the bottom, you hug the knees towards the chest. You let pelvic floor and abdominals fully relax. Place one foot down onto the floor and then the other. Have the feet a little bit closer towards the sit bones. The legs are parallel and hip width. Your arms are relaxed in a position where you feel your collarbones are open and the shoulders feel relaxed. Bring your awareness to your center. Engage the pelvic floor and the abdominals, and then tilt the pelvis backwards. Feel how the lower back sinks into the mat and how you can start to tilt even more, and it peels off one vertebra at the time. Ground through the ball of the big toe as you start to roll further up. Have a sense of the pubic bone drawing towards the breastbone, and imagine your sit bones drawing forward towards your knees until you're rolled up into a shoulder bridge. The front of the hip joint is extended. The front of the ribs are softly closed. And then start to roll back down one vertebra at a time. Keep that sense of the pelvis tilt. Keep the pubic bone drawing towards the breastbone, rolling through the lumbar, and then let the pelvic floor and the abdominals fully relax, arriving in a centered position. From this relaxed position, re-engage pelvic floor and abdominals. Let the lower back imprint into the mat. Visualize how you can soften part of the organs back. Ground through the ball of the big toe. Start to roll further up, vertebra by vertebra. That sense of pubic bone to breastbone, sit bones pulling forward towards the knees. Breathing in at the top, the front of the ribs are softly closed. You start to roll back down, articulating through the spine. Feel how you can open that space in the back of the rib cage as you roll down vertebra by vertebra, then into the lower back, and then you center the pelvis again. Relax pelvic floor and abdominals. This time we are adding on. Engage pelvic floor and abdominals once more. Feel how you can articulate the lower back. Feel the strength through the abdominal supported by the pelvic floor, and it rolls you up supported by the hip extensors. The hamstrings specifically. Ground the ball of the big toe so you can assist and get assistance of the other hip extensors. Now with Karin, you could lift up into an extension, take the balls high up into the thoracic and slowly roll down, or with me you can roll down vertebra by vertebra, and once you are back on the floor, you take the prop of your choice, either domes or massage balls, and you roll to one side, placing them and then the other. If you have rolled down like Karin from the top, you might want to arrange yourself a little bit so you feel the massage prop is in the right position. Bring the fingertips up to the ceiling.
Interlace your hands. Have a look how your hands are crossed, because you will cross the other way around in round 2 that Mumu will be leading. Place your hands behind your head and create a cradle for your head. So you will be able to rest your head in your hands and work deeply in your neck rather than straining the outside. As for your center, pelvic floor, deep abdominals, engage them lightly. Check with your pelvic floor. If you can open your knees and establish a diamond pose with your legs with your pelvic floor engaged, this is an option. So if you like to join me, please do. Otherwise, please keep the knees lifted like Mumu. Now from here, with your center engaged, lift your elbows so they're pointing up towards the ceiling. With your next exhalation, more activity in pelvic floor, abdominals, you're curling up. Inhale at the top. With your exhalation, open your elbows out to the sides. Inhalation, move them closer together in front. When you open your elbows, sense the connectedness from the shoulders across the abdominals. When you bring your elbows closer together with your inhalation, can you sense an expansion in your lower back while staying fully engaged in your midsection, pelvic floor, and abdominals? Keep your elbows pointing forward. Let the breath flow, and then very slowly roll back over the balls. Rest your hands on the floor, rest your head in the hands, open your elbows and release. Relax as much as possible. Re-engage to the center, pelvic floor and abdominals. With your inhalation, lift your elbows so they point up to the ceiling. With your exhalation, you curl up. With your inhalation, you open your elbows. Ooh, that was an exhalation, sorry. With your exhalation, you open your elbows. Turn to the left. Come back to center with your inhalation. Exhalation to the right, opening your elbows. Inhalation, center. One more time to the left. Pause, let the breath flow. Reach forward with your right arm, and with your left arm, you create a cradle for your head. So you keep the head relaxed in your arm. That's what it feels like. Slowly go backward, circle your right arm overhead, reach forward. You slowly go back, and then you reach forward. If you want to synchronize it with the breath, inhalation to circle back, exhalation to reach forward and across. So very strong activity in the pelvic floor that is sustained. And then of course we have all of the abdominals collaborating in this motion. You can stay now either way you are, or you can fold your left leg over the right leg. And once again, you curl back and you curl up in this twisted movement here. So it is a multidimensional strengthening exercise for your abdominals, which also enhances ease in your back, and that's really beautiful. So glide and fluid flow in your back, and also awareness, which is great. Hold at the top, 5 small pulsating movements. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Very slowly go back. And then melt over the balls into this back massaging easy twist. I love this. For the rib cage, the spine, this is sensational. So after a while, you might feel that you can deepen your breath, although the position is rather twisted. So that's a really nice way to energize your inner organs, create space for them in your rib cage. Then you can remove the props from beneath your body. Center yourself on your back and then float your right leg into a tabletop position. Turn out, so the foot points to the left, and then fold your right leg over the left. Either just let it hang there, or you intertwine the lower legs with mumu. And then it's a pelvic rocking. So the center is engaged, and then you rock the pelvis from side to side using the weight of your legs and minimal muscular effort. Now, the emphasis of this movement at the moment is going to the left, into the opposite direction of the pelvic twist that you had in the strengthening exercise. So you let the pelvis rock with minimal effort, balancing the spinal twist that you had before. So you let the movement of the pelvis travel up into your upper back, mobilizing your upper back. And then find a still place in your pelvis. Disentangle the legs. Place your right leg into tabletop, float the foot down onto the floor, slide the heels a little bit closer to your sit bones, and with your next exhalation, initiate the pelvic curl. And then you let the breath flow as you're peeling the spine away from the floor, curling up, balancing on the go with this exercise. So evenly engaging the front and the back of the upper body. And then slowly roll down until your pelvis has landed on the floor and is centered again. You can stay the way you are. And let's do this one more time. You're curling up into a shoulder bridge. If you like to, with me, you can go into an arch. So an arched bridge. Drawing up from the pubic bone, the weight is high up, and you can place the balls fairly high up beneath your back. And then we all roll down. And if you haven't placed the props yet, please do so with mumu.
And once the props are placed in the position that you want, similar to before, bring your fingertips up towards the ceiling, interlace your hands, and this time bring the other thumb on top and interlace the hands the other way around. From here, bring the hands behind the head, cradle the back of the head, feel how you can rest into the hands and take a deep, expansive breath into the front and the back of the rib cage. With the exhalation, you settle and soften a little bit. Bring your awareness to your center. If again you want, open your legs if you did that before. And you start in an alignment position with Karin, or you stay with me, wherever you can feel better engagement through the center. Or whatever you did before is a good choice. So then from here, close your elbows with your next inhalation. Engage pelvic floor and abdominal strongly and curl up. Let the head be supported by the hands. Breathe into the back of the rib cage. As you exhale, open the elbows. Inhale, feel the expansion as you close the elbows, feel how you can expand the back and assisted by the breath. You open the elbows one more time, and then you breathe in and you close. So this beautiful massage that Karin mentioned at the beginning, as well as creating some hydration and expansion. Keep the elbows closed. Support the head as you are rolling back down. Feel how the abdominals control the movement. They need to lengthen though. And then you let the elbows open up, relax pelvic floor and abdominals for a moment completely. Re-engage through the center. Close the elbows again as you breathe in. And then as you exhale, curling up, supporting the head. Feel that strong engagement and support from pelvic floor to abdominals. With your next exhalation, rotating towards the right, your left elbow draws up towards the ceiling, the right elbow opens. Inhale and center, keep the height. As you exhale, your right elbow draws up towards the ceiling and it rotates you towards the left. Breathe into the back as you center. And then rotating towards the right, stay here. Again, loop the arm a little bit more around and reach through the left arm towards your right. With your inhalation, going into a twisted extension, circling the arm. As you exhale, you draw up, come up a bit faster. A slow inhalation, beautiful control. And as you exhale, feel that strength from left to right. And then breathing in again. Feel how you can lengthen and massage. And then feel that empowering strength from the inside out as you curl back up. One more time, breathing in. And then exhale, coming back up. If you chose to bring the legs towards the other side before, this time towards your left, do so again. The inhalation is a slow lowering. The exhalation is that curling up. So through the leg position, we are a little bit more twisted now. So you might feel that you need to find a different empowering to come back up. And you might feel even more of a lengthening as you go back down. And the massage focus has also potentially changed a little bit more to one prop. Stay here. And then the small pulses. Feeling that strength once more from within. Hold it. And then a slow lowering down. Tune into the arm supporting the head. Is it still supporting it? Let the arm extend. Bring the right arm out. And now just melt for a moment. Feel how the abdominals that before were strongly working as well can now just soften and lengthen. Feel how with the breath you can expand into the props or into that area where the props are. And on the exhalation you can soften. Also feel how the inhalation creates a massaging of the heart. And on the exhalation, it's like a softening into your heart space. The massage is, of course, supported by the lungs as they expand and soften. Feel how there's that beautiful, subtle unwinding. And then from here, you take the props away. And then center the pelvis and the legs. This time floating your left leg into tabletop, crossing the leg over, intertwining twice or just crossing it over, whatever suits. Letting the legs easily take you to the right and then the left. A gentle, subtle unwinding of the rotation we were in before, as well as a beautiful, gentle invigoration of the organs. You're being moved through the legs and their momentum, and feel how that moves into the pelvis and into the spine. Go one more time. And then center yourself again. Untwine, untwirl the legs, not sure. And then lift the leg. Center it again and float the leg back down. Bring the feet a little bit closer towards the sit bones. And from this centered position, engage pelvic floor and abdominals. Let the lower back melt into the mat and roll up vertebra by vertebra. Tune in. Maybe this invigoration and massaging gives you a different sense in the pelvic curl. And start to roll back down. Maybe you feel like the space between the lower ribs and the back of the pelvis is opening even more, and you might sense it more clearly. Center the pelvis once more. And then from here, you tilt the pelvis backwards one more time. Engage pelvic floor and abdominals, rolling up vertebra by vertebra. Feel the strength of pelvic floor flowing to the abdominals. From the sit bones, you draw forward towards the knees, and then you roll back down. And again, there might be quite a different sense or availability of how much you can tilt your pelvis in comparison to the first time.
And now to complete this movement sequence with a sense of inner togetherness and dynamic stability in your center, you can tune into your pelvic floor, engage lightly. Your pelvis is now centered, your lower back in its natural alignment. Float your right leg into tabletop. Find a 90-degree angle in the knees. Step down, maintaining the 90-degree angle. Float your left leg into tabletop. 90-degree angle in the knee. Float back down. And then right leg float up again. And leg float down. Alternate the legs in your own rhythm. Now, while the legs are moving, you stay in tune with your midsection, with your center. You engage as much as necessary, though as little as possible. The lightest muscular activation that you can have to stabilize your pelvis, that's the deepest work. Now the legs feel light. So can you imagine a balloon attached on each knee? And the balloon is floating one leg up and it's floating it down. Let's do this one more time with each leg. So deep core strength and lightness in the legs. You can then float the right leg into tabletop. Keep the balloon feeling. Engage your pelvic floor and abdominals more strongly, so you can float the left leg into tabletop and then make a choice, stand parallel or connect the legs.
Bring your fingertips back up towards the ceiling. Lift the upper body, curling forward, reach the fingertips forward. Hold on behind the legs and then press the legs away. Keep pelvic floor, abdominals strongly engaged. Rolling forward, decrease the engagement, bring the forehead close to the knees, and then find your sit bones. Roll yourself up from the bottom up into a centered seated position. And then from here, come into a cross-legged position, this time taking your right leg in front. Circle the arms overhead. With an inhalation, spiral towards your right. Reach from the fingertips out. As you exhale, it's like a softening a little bit back into that heart space. Breathing in, spiraling, gentle vitalizing. And on the exhalation, a softening. Lift through the heart space, expand through the breath. And then as you exhale, it's that softening back into the back space and into your heart. Center the pelvis, elongate the spine, and let the arms relax. Karina and I hope that you feel lifted and motivated, so energetically as well as in your mood, lifted and sparkling.
I just hope you have butterflies around your liver, like the butterflies around the liver feeling. I've got it. It's excellent. So if that's happening in your body too, well done.